Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah, as I am the founder and editor-in-chief of The Gaming Gang. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, September 28th, 2020. This is episode 549 of The Daily Dope. If this is your first time visiting, let me point out that this is a very, very casual show. It is certainly nothing along the lines of rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. Just kind of hang out talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. So we'll talk about board games, role-playing games, card games, miniatures games, you name it. If it's tabletop gaming, we are chatting about it. Every once in a while, talk a little bit about PC gaming as well as pop culture. But for the most part, it's all tabletop gaming all the time. Nice. So, do want to mention, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you subscribe, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Daily Dope streams live Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube, it will also let you know when I upload other videos, such as today's review of Dungeon Drop from Gamewright and Phase Shift Games. So check that out. So that's why you want to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. All right, so we should be looking at a pretty clean stream tonight. I'll explain why in just a moment. Aha, the madman has popped into chat. I was just about to check to see what was going on because I hadn't seen anybody say hello in chat yet. Speaking of chat, of course, oh, for crying out loud, I forgot to change the date. I knew there was something I didn't get done today. I have everything else all set up, completely forgot. And I even stared at this earlier today and thought, I got to change that. I got to make sure I change that today. I tell you. All right, so while I do that real quick, if you were watching last week, you know that there were some serious streaming issues that were going on. And I mean, it was ridiculous, to be very honest. We would be up and then we drop and then we do it just all over the place. It was driving me nuts. And I was testing all these different things. Well, it turns out it was Comcast. That's right. It was Comcast. Something was going on their end. Of course, they wouldn't admit that there was a problem. But I did call in. I did run some tests. I was checking out to see what was going on as far as dropped packets. Because that's where the big problem was popping up. It was showing that our kilobits per second would go like right down the toilet. I mean, sometimes it would hit 0. And this was all week long last week. So I was playing around. I thought, oh, maybe it's this setting, it's that setting. I'm messing around with all these different things. And none of it would work. And I was doing just regular speed tests, like most people normally will. And everything seemed pretty much the same. And then I double-checked to see what the packet loss was for uploading. And I kept running some upload tests, and like between 3 and 4% of the packets were being lost, which is abysmal. You should have less than 1% of your uploaded packets get dropped. So, of course, called Comcast. They're like, oh, of course, it's not the United States. I think I was talking to somebody maybe in the Philippines. Who knows? And, of course, you got to sit there and, oh, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I've already gone through the whole rebooting the modem, all these other things. Kept sending signals. Oh, no, nothing. So they're like, oh, no, it's not on our end. It must be your modem. And I explained, no, the modem would not be causing the drop packets. It's on your side. Sure enough, next day, all of a sudden that problem was gone. Huh. Wonder how that happened, huh? So it should be okay. We are 6 minutes in and we have 0 drop frames, which is normally what would happen. Other item that I have to mention is there's been a bit of a change with YouTube. They've got that, well, it's not that new, but it's been around for a few months. Their new streaming center, their live streaming center, which to me, I don't like. I like the classic. Well, I no longer have access to the classic, so I'm stuck with the new streaming center, which I don't like it because I can't set up certain information in the stream beforehand. So if you go to the Gaming Gang channel, like even earlier today, it was showing 2 upcoming streams for the same show, which it shouldn't have. That's, once again, like I said, this is the issue with this goofiness with this new live stream center. But I can't put some information in there that way I don't have to enter it in after the stream. It's, it's just, they're talking about, oh, it's going to make life so much easier. And it's like, no, you're going to make my life so much bigger pain in the ass to do stuff. Oh, well. Anyway, I'm in a good mood. Don't think that I'm in a bad mood or something. I'm just like, damn you, YouTube. Damn you, Comcast, YouTube. I'm beset on all sides. A Grade A has popped into chat to say howdy. Good to see you, Grade A. Let's jump on into the news. Because hitting stores this week from Funko Games is A Christmas Story, a major card game. I've got the dope. Help Ralphie Parker get the BB gun and decoder ring he covets at Christmas time. Peek at present cards. Triple dog dare other players to make risky trades. And beware the bullies who are lurking in the deck. If you have the infamous leg lamp, you can swipe another player's card, but act fast because you may not have the prized possession long. It's a lively game of take that and family laughs just in time for the holidays. The game features, inspired by the beloved movie, or beloved, some people like to pronounce it that way. Inspired by this beloved movie's most iconic prop, the fishnet leg lamp. Cards feature images of characters and items from the classic movie. It does look like this is line art as opposed to just using stills from the movie, which I think that's kind of cool. It includes that miniature leg lamp players can claim for extra power during the game. It's a fun way for parents to share the love of this holiday movie with young children. And it's in stores in time to play while enjoying the annual A Christmas Story TV marathon. It's out this week. So yes, obviously enough, it'd be way in time. A Christmas Story, a major card game, is for 3 to 6 players, ages 8 and up, plays in around 15 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $6.99. I'm going to take a guess that this will be arriving probably in some of the bigger retail stores, maybe Target, maybe Walmart. I don't know. It looks like it could be interesting. It's supposed to be super quick, plays, like I said, in about 15 minutes. I do get a kick out of the leg lamp. It's fragile. So Don't know. Uh-oh. All right, suddenly we're dropping frames. What's going on here? This I thought this was going to be cleared up. I don't know. Anyway, so this could be kind of fun. Kind of get a kick out of it. But Grade A's talking about Microsoft 365 suffers outage across the U.S. It's a good thing I don't use Microsoft 365. Moving right along. Arriving October 1st, so something else that's arriving this week from Lay Waste Games is Life Siphon. Here's the dope. Dragons have taken over the surface, forcing humans underground. During explorations, you and your fellow humans discover a box with an orange glowing eye on the outside. The words "Do not open" are carved on the sides. Of course, you open it, only to be instantly cursed. The only escape is to take out your closest friend with your new cursed powers to summon familiars and cast spells at the cost of your own life. Each player's goal in Life Siphon is to defeat the player to their left, and the game ends when the first player drops to 0 health, meaning you must plan your strategy to be effective offensively against one player while defending against another. Since everything costs your own health, the heavier your offense, the more vulnerable you are. You may even find yourself aiding your attacker to give you the opportunity to make the killing blow. Life Siphon is for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, plays in 20 to 40 minutes. It is going to carry an MSRP of $50 when it arrives on October 1st. Could be kind of cool. Could be kind of an interesting game. This is from Lay Waste Games, I think. I'm not positive, but I think this is part of the same setting as their game Dragoon, which I think that's the game about the dragons invading our surface world. So I think this is kind of a follow-up as far as the Dragoon. So it could be kind of cool. Could be pretty interesting. So taking a look at chat, a Grade A is talking about a bunch of Free League info. Free League Publishing, Free League info came out. There was an AMA this weekend. So the One Ring is going to be a 2021 release. Yep, we knew that. And there is a Lovecraft RPG that's going to be sometime in 2022. We will talk about that in just a moment. In fact, you know what? We'll talk about that after the news. But there's something I'm kind of curious about. I'm not sure if it's going to end up being the case or not. I should have asked when I had the opportunity, but I forgot. But yes, I think we all pretty much knew that the new Lord of the Rings role-playing game would not be out this year. In fact, that's what Thomas Hammerstein had kind of explained to me when we did the interview a few months ago, was they weren't expecting to see it come out this year. So moving right along, there is a new war game that's out from Tiny Battle Publishing. Here's the dope on Aden. The civil war in Yemen has been going on since 2015, fought between the government and a rebellious faction and their respective allies. Each group claims to be the legitimate government of Yemen. The fighting uses everything from World War II leftovers to modern ballistic missiles, with Saudi Arabian troops and U.S. drone strikes helping the government and Iranian arms aiding the rebels. Aden is a 2-player, but solitaire-friendly, hypothetical campaign for control of this southern Yemen port city, a combined company and platoon-level game where each battle takes place over the course of 1 or more days. Difficult terrain splits the east and west of the city. Combatants often retreat to avoid taking losses before surging back, and making the most of your scattered leadership is the key to resupplying your people and sustaining an offensive. Units activate with a unique dice system, and combat is centered on the add or subtract dice method, reminiscent of Greg Porter's Armageddon War. Of course, Greg Porter is the designer of Aden as well. The game remembers that Aden is a functioning city with key points that will be strategic objectives and scenarios or have special combat effects. Destroy an enemy in sight of the international hotel where the media are staying? Extra victory points. Enemies hold up near a major mosque? You can't call artillery down on them. Aden is for 2 players, ages 14 and up. It is available now. I did share this news piece a while back when it was announced, but you can order it now. It is shipping, and it does carry an MSRP of $28. Not too shabby. Greg Porter does good stuff. I like Armageddon War. I do definitely like that system. I reviewed it, about a year ago? Maybe a little more than a year ago. So, and I do want to mention that this seems to be a little lower priced. So I was very happy to see a much friendlier price point for this Tiny Battle Publishing release. All right, let's jump on into some role-playing game news, because now available in PDF from Open Ended Games is Against the Dark Master. Here's the dope. Your epic saga is about to begin. The Dark Master, an immensely powerful being of pure evil, threatens the world once again. The last hope of the free kins lies in a handful of heroes who alone dare to defy him. Against the Dark Master is a tabletop epic fantasy role-playing game of high adventure, heroic action, and heavy metal combat. Will you stand against the coming shadow? Will you heed the call to adventure? And against the Dark Master, you and your friends will take the role of a fellowship of valiant heroes, standing together against the seemingly overwhelming power of darkness. You will travel to distant lands, face terrible dangers, uncover ancient items of power, and gather the armies of the world under your banner to defeat the great evil that threatens your world, the Dark Master. Against the Dark Master isn't tied to a single fantasy setting, but it's written with a specific subgenre of fantasy fiction in mind. It draws inspiration from the classic epic fantasy sagas, and we've tried to capture the feeling of those stories, embedded some of their core thematic elements into the game system. This makes Against the Dark Master the perfect game for setting your adventures in the world described by your favorite fantasy author or in your very own quasi-medieval world. But above all, Against the Dark Master focuses on the characters you create, the passions driving them, and their choices. Because heroes aren't measured by the number of enemies they defeat, but by the choices they make to reach their goal. This PDF includes a complete rule system, which includes a unified D100-based action resolution mechanic, a huge variety of character customization options, detailed travel mechanics for long overland adventures, a flexible magic system with over 300 spells, tactical combat and brutal critical strikes, an immersive rules system for character-driven adventures. There's a bestiary that features over 60 fearsome monsters, and a full introductory campaign in 3 parts. Grab your dice and get ready to join the fight against the Dark Master. This 580-page PDF is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $24.99. So, this looks kind of interesting, but I have a few questions, and I think a grade A is probably going to be one of the people who could probably point us in the right direction, because I know a grade A knows quite a lot about various different role-playing games. So the first thing I would say, taking a look at this artwork here, look at the font of the title. I'm wondering, I have a weird feeling that this might be kind of a reskinning of Middle-earth role-playing, because that font looks right out of Middle-earth role-playing, which was the old ICE role-playing game. And I have seen some other images of artwork from this book, which are just spot on reproductions of old D&D artwork from the 80s, artwork that was in Middle Earth role playing. So I'm kind of curious about this. I'm not trying to tell people don't purchase this, don't check it out. But I am kind of wondering, because when they talk about all the magic system with 300 spells, the critical strikes, that's all ice stuff. So I don't know. And one of the inspirations I heard for this RPG is the I always forget how to pronounce the damn game. The Zwellinger or something like that. It's from Daniel Fox, and it's basically, in my opinion, it is simply just a ripoff of first edition Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I would hope that's not the case here, but I'm curious. I really am curious. So I see Gray Day and the Madman are discussing D&D right now. Talking about Frost Maiden. Well, I'll have something to say about Frost Maiden in a minute. Rime of the Frost Maiden. But still got some additional news to take a look at. Now available at Dungeon Masters Guild is, speaking of Rime of the Frost Maiden, the Icewind Dale Primer, or I should say, I think it's called Player Primer Icewind Dale. Here's the dope. Discover the wonders of Faerun's frozen tundra with, yes, that is the title, Player Primer, I should say, Icewind Dale. This supplement contains all the information dungeon masters and players will need to jump into a Dungeons & Dragons adventure set in Icewind Dale, including life in Icewind Dale, important story events, regions and settlements of Icewind Dale, factions of Icewind Dale. There are new and adapted backgrounds, a character chronicle to build characters firmly grounded in Icewind Dale. Our character chronicle, adapted from the heroic chronicle created in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, is a system of character creation that helps players create characters. Well, that's kind of funny. It's character creation that helps players create characters. That could have presented that a little differently. Anyway, you'll create characters with strong ties to Icewind Dale. This includes goals, secrets, and even favorite foods. Useful for any player, this system can also be used to create more fully realized villains for your Arctic escapades. Icewind Dale is a classic and storied region of Faerun whose story is continuing in Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Get ready for Dungeons & Dragons' next big adventure today with the Player Primer Icewind Dale. Once you've made your heroes, bring them to life in Song of the Mountain, a Player Primer adventure. This adventure is designed for level 1 characters to be introduced to Icewind Dale, complete with hooks to continue a campaign, possibly to continue into Rime of the Frost Maiden. This 18-page PDF is available at DM's Guild. It's on sale right now for $3.71. Cool. I'm always looking at different ways to help kind of boost published content. I think if you're going to really draw out the best from an adventure, a lot of times you want to utilize material that may not be from that actual published adventure book or campaign book or what have you. I think this could be kind of cool. I like the artwork. Layout looks pretty nice. It's $3.71. What can I tell you? All right, so some breaking news that popped up. Now available in PDF and as a pre-order from Cubicle 7 is the Warhammer Fantasy Age of Sigmar Soulbound starter set. I've got the dope. The Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound starter set contains everything you need to bring role-playing epic adventures in the perilous lands of the mortal realms. Whether this is your first ever tabletop role-playing game or you are an experienced game master preparing your next campaign, this box set is the perfect starting point for anyone interested in Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound. The starter set includes Faltering Light, a 48-page adventure that sees the heroes venture into the ancient Aglaraxian ruins beneath the city of Brightspear. The adventure teaches you and your friends how to play. No prep required. Brightspear City Guide, a 64-page guide to the city of Brightspear, filled with strange and wonderful locations, unique characters, story hooks, and featuring 8 one-page adventures set in Brightspear. This is a perfect way to continue your Soulbound campaign. There's an introduction to the world of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, 5 gatefold character sheets with pre-generated characters, each with their own goals, background, and connections. 3 two-sided rules reference sheets with rules for tests, combat, and spell casting. A 2-sided sheet with a map of Brightspear on one side and the lands of Esperia on the other, as well as tokens for tracking Metal, Soulfire, and Doom. You can pre-order the starter set from Cubicle 7 for $29.99, or grab the 120-page PDF right now at DriveThruRPG for $14.99. Nice. I have really not had an opportunity to take a look at Age of Sigmar Soulbound. Sammy did a review for that. She was very, very surprised, very happily surprised, pleasantly surprised as far as what the core rulebook presented, and she really, really enjoyed it. So, and I should point out that Sammy is still doing reviews for me. I touched base with her. I was like, "What's going on? What's happening? Haven't heard from you in a couple of months." So she is still doing reviews. Just things were going on. Things were going on. So a grade A asks, I wonder if Jeff is adjusting his Rockwell Retro encabulator. I'm not sure what that is off the top of my head. So the Madman and a grade A are discussing their role-playing games. Pretty quiet in chat. So I'm kind of curious. I don't know. I won't know until after the stream because I almost never look at the live stream. I wonder if everybody who's watching live are able to use chat or if they're in a different chat. Because as I mentioned before, the oddball way that this newer live streaming center works, I had tried utilizing the chat before from it, and it didn't work. So, and everybody was off in the other chat from the classic stream. So I don't know what's going on with that. All right. Anyway, as I mentioned, you can pick up the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay Age of Sigmar Soulbound starter set in PDF at DriveThruRPG right now for $14.99. Of course, whenever I talk about DriveThruRPG, keep in mind the Gaming Gang and thus the Daily Dope are affiliated with the One Bookshelf website and other sites as well. So if you are going to swing over to, say, DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads, and that way, if you do make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. And all those little nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up. And they do really help keep the Gaming Gang website around. And I say it time and time again, I don't have cheap hosting. I'm not on GoDaddy, shared hosting or anything like that. So that just goes to show you there are a lot of people out there month in, month out that do use those banner ads from the Gaming Gang, and it really helps out. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate anybody out there who does that when they're going to like Wargame Vault or DM's Guild, DriveThruRPG, whatnot. All right, that's it for the news tonight. So rocked on through that fairly quickly. Do have some things on the horizon. So we were talking a little bit. There was some discussion about Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden for Dungeons and Dragons. Don't forget, Today is your last chance to get in the running to win my copy of the alternate art cover for Rime of the Frost Maiden. I am going to announce the winner on tomorrow's show live and in color. But I am going to choose the name beforehand. So I'm going to choose the winner before the show because there's I think there's like, I got to take a look because I've been tracking each of the comments that, okay, so now I guess I gave away the rules on how you win. You're supposed to watch the video to find out how you can win. Not every comment that was made on the video counts as an entry into the contest. So there's that. So I have been tracking those, and then I'm going to use a random number generator to pick the winner. But there are more than 400 entries so far. So very, very cool. Really appreciate that. I'm kind of curious after I do the giveaway how many subscribers are going to unsubscribe from the channel. I'm also going to share my next contest. I will announce the next contest tomorrow as well. If you're a constant viewer, you probably already know what it is because I did mention it on one of the shows not too long ago. So I will announce what that new contest is as well as what you can win a copy of. So also had some stuff show up today. So Invid Invasion, the Robotech game from Solar Flare Games. This is the third in their lineup of Robotech games. This arrived today. So stay tuned for some coverage of that. We were just talking about Cubicle 7 Entertainment. Well, they sent me the Ubers Like Adventures hardcover. It is in actually a plastic shrink. So we will be taking a look at that. I have some other reviews that are coming out this week. They're already shot. I'm just kind of going to release them. I don't want to release them all at one time. I am going to try to get my review of the first chapter of the Agents of Edgewatch Adventure Path done and up tomorrow. Fingers crossed on that. It is the Devil at the Dreaming Palace. Had to double check. It was at the Dreaming Palace. So I will actually share not only what's going on in the adventure, what I think of the adventure, but also some thoughts on running the adventure and some outside products that you might want to utilize to really get the most out of this adventure path. And I will point out, I'm going to talk about some stuff that is not from Paizo and it's not from Wizards of the Coast. But I do think it would be a very good fit if you are really looking to get the most out of this adventure path. I do have the first 3 chapters. I've only read this first one. And I still have to finish reading through the extra background material and stuff from the back. I have read through the adventure chapter, though. So I've gone through all of that. So, and of course, you've seen we've gotten a lot of other stuff. We've got the trio of board games from Worthington Publishing. Few and the Cursed showed up from Rock Manor Games. So I've got lots cooking. 10-Gallon Tank from Winsmith Games arrived. Have not had an opportunity to look at that as yet either, but I will. I will have a bunch of stuff going on for this week. Next week, I do want to point out I am I'm not positive yet. I'm probably taking next week off because every quarter I like to take a week off, kind of recharge my batteries a little bit. And gotta remember, this summer I had I did take a week off this past summer, but I didn't have any conventions that I was out covering and things like that. So usually during the summertime, I have a few weeks away from doing the Daily Dope Monday through Thursdays. In fact, not that long ago, it was Monday through Fridays. But I'm thinking of taking next week off. Not positive, thinking about it. But just because I would take the week off from doing the live show does not mean that you will not see videos. That is another reason why I'm kind of considering maybe taking the week off, is I could crank out a lot of videos that need to get done, which probably won't have an opportunity to do if I continue doing the show next week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I will keep everybody informed as far as what's going on. Anyway, that is essentially it for tonight's show. I do see a Great A and the Madman have been just chatting about, now they're talking about computer games. So that they're just going to town discussing. Like I said, for some reason, I think we might have a disconnect as far as the chat. I'll find out, because I can guarantee when the show is over, if I take a look and we have like 20 some concurrent viewers, yeah, then there was probably a problem with chat. So a Great A saying, Jeff, wake up. See, I knew it. I knew it. So hold on. It appears, see, here we go. It looks like another situation where I'm doing the stream. They're not seeing the chat. I'm seeing chat. They're not getting the stream. I don't know. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. So that answers some issues here. No wonder. That was kind of odd that it's just a bunch of discussion going on between the two of them. I'm like, yeah, usually there's some commenting on the news and things like that. Weird. So yeah, so it turns out the Madman's saying, no, we haven't seen anything. Yep. So that's very, very bizarre. Of course, once again, like I said, it's all boiling down to YouTube's now forcing me to use the other streaming center that I don't want to use, and it's all messing up the chat. So the chat, if for some strange reason, is not tied into this stream. So I don't know. Hopefully that gets straightened out, because I just lost the access to the classic streaming this afternoon, because I was on it earlier today. Because normally what I'll do is I'll have what's on the show. As soon as I know what companies I'm going to be talking about, I always put that into the stream info, and that way it's already there. So if people happen to stumble across the upcoming show and they click on it, they can see what's going on. So I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, so Great A mentions Jeff could be doing the stream, not even realizing it's not broadcasting. So I have no idea. But that's what I'm going to take a guess is, yeah, for some strange reason, it is not going to be showing the chat. Pretty bizarre. Pretty bizarre. All right, everybody who's not watching live, you're all watching on Memorex today. Because usually I'm like, hey, if you're watching live, thanks so much. Nobody's going to be watching live, I guess, today. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, if you normally watch live, thank you very much. But of course, if you don't have an opportunity to watch live, or YouTube decides they don't want to let you watch live, maybe you're watching on Memorex. I appreciate that as well. So once again, hey, boy, it's always something. It's always something. At least I do have to point out, hardly any drop frames tonight. Very few drop frames. So very, very cool. All right. Anyway, that's it for tonight's show. as I always like to kind of chime out with on all of my videos, unfortunately, during this pandemic, until I see you next, which I will be back tomorrow night, please do your best to be smart and stay safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching this video. And of course, if you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, click right here. And of course, if you want to see one of the latest episodes of the Daily Dope, click right on up here. And if you want to roll the dice, take your chances, see what YouTube thinks you might like from the channel, give a click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and I'll see you next time.